And in studio, I have two lovely ladies, Nicky Dowd and Maggie McGing. For those of you who are interested in music, this is one that you're just not going to want to miss. I suppose the COVID era was very tough on the music industry and on people in general. But interestingly, Unmasked, which is the Cobblers Lockdown Sessions CD launch, is taking place in Molloy's yard in Westport at 7:30pm on Thursday, May the 19th. And you might ask me, what is it all about? Well, I don't actually have to tell you, because I have the two lovely ladies who are part of the people who participated in the making of the CD in studio with me. I have Nicky Dowd. You're very welcome, Nicky. How are you?
Lovely to be here with you, Angela.
My pleasure. And I also have Maggie McGing. Maggie, nice to talk to you.
Hello. Thanks.
It's been a while since we've been able to have live studio guests, so it's a treat for me to have a bit of company here. Tell me a little bit about how you guys survived lockdown, and then how eventually the idea of reaching out to other musicians, etc., happened, and finally now a CD, and a very impressive one it is. I have it here in studio. We're going to play some compilations of it as well. Unmasked. An awful lot of people participated in it by the looks of it. I'll start with Nicky.
Okay, so the group used to meet every Thursday at the Cobblers Bar, right back from 2008. There was a core group, and it started off as a sort of trad folk improvers group. But as the word went round, more and more people joined in, and you could dip in and dip out. It was a very inclusive group. Tourists would drop in and do a number. And then, it emerged into sort of like jazz, country, bluegrass, southern rock, poetry, the spoken word. It was everything in every genre you could think of, and all were welcomed. And it was an amazing place for us to gather and share, learn from each other. But the pandemic locked us down, and that separated us and isolated us all over the world. We were in San Francisco, France, Spain, England, Ireland, and we were lonely. We really, really missed each other. And like most people, it was a struggle to be separated. And then our leading captain, John Scahill, who was one of the founder members, along with Pat Staunton and Columba Moran and Trina O'Malley and Tony Reedy and Mags and Frida, there was a big gang of them. John said, would we ever have a go at Zooming? And the problem is with Zooming, as you listeners will know, is that you can't actually bounce off each other and collaborate. So you were very exposed. But that meant we got a chance to really connect, and it sort of cemented us together, our friendships, our personal stories through the pandemic, and sharing musical knowledge. And we had a blast. We wore hats, we wore tiaras, we had themes. We'd kick off at 9:30, and people would join because there were different time zones. We were in attics, we were in under the stairs, wherever, down the bottom of the garden, yourself, whenever you could get a good signal.
Yeah, very eclectic.
It was very eclectic, and we covered about 250 songs, didn't we, Maggie?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
And it would be everything from John Prine, James Taylor, Bob Dylan, Mary Black, Waterboys, Dubliners, Tom Waits, whatever, floated your boat at the time. And from that, somebody said, God, we've done 250 songs. Would we ever do a CD? And we thought, come on, we're getting a bit above ourselves now. And we did. Yeah. And one of our members, David Gimino, had his own studio in Westport called Street Band Studio. And he said he'd love to do it. And that was just, are you joking, really? And he said, yeah, he'd never done one before. Let's do it.
Fantastic.
But there's 27 tracks on this, Angela. Yeah. It's not one person. So that was massive, because each person has their own band. And those would be in different countries.
I mean, it's just such an achievement. I was going to say, if we could take a minute, I have one of the tracks here. It's actually yourself, Nicky. And it's... well, it's The Glory of Love.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. We're going to give it a play. How about
lovely.
that?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, there's something gone very wrong there. Bear with me, guys. I think what we'll do is we'll go actually and have a chat with Maggie first, and we'll see what's happening. Maggie, tell me about how you got involved.
Well, I was a listener at the Thursday sessions,
I didn't sing or I didn't partake because a long time ago I was told by a choir teacher in secondary school that I had the voice of an out-of-tune crow, and I believed her and I never sang. So I was just a listener at the sessions, and then eventually when I went on Zoom, someone challenged me to sing, and then I did, and they were all very kind and they all reacted very positively. And after quite a while, I began to kind of believe that I could actually sing and that I didn't sound like the out-of-tune crow that I had been told I was. So it was a fantastic experience. And then this idea of the CD came up, and I was very involved in organising that. And then the absolute cherry on the top of the cake was recording the actual CD going into a studio. So you can imagine someone who never had the confidence to sing, starting to sing, and then all of a sudden going into a professional studio. It was just absolutely brilliant.
It seems to have been a fantastic, I suppose, morale boost and support for you all as well.
Absolutely. Very emotional, really emotional.
The highlight of my week. during lockdown, it was absolutely the highlight of my week, because I had lost, I'm a very social person, and I had lost the ability to connect outside of the home, and it was absolutely the highlight of my week. So, you know, brilliant.
Now, we're going to try and play a track, and I'm just looking at, I have a selection of them. I have, Maggie, one for you here. I wish I had Someone to Love Me. Would you like me to try and play that?
Yes, one? Please. That'd be lovely.
Hopefully it'll work.
Another
this time
first for me.
Oh, well, look at, well done, and let's give it a go.
I wish I had someone to love me, someone to call me their own, someone to sleep with me nightly. I'm weary of sleeping alone. Meet me tonight in the moonlight. Meet me tonight all alone. I have a sad story to tell you. I'm telling it under the moon. I wish I had someone to love me, someone to call me their own, someone to sleep with me nightly. I'm weary of sleeping alone. Though it's our last night together, nearest and dearest to part, the love that has held us together is shredded and torn all apart. I wish I had someone to love me, someone to call me their own, someone to sleep with me nightly. I'm weary of sleeping alone. I wish I had ships on the ocean. I'd lace them with silver and gold and sail to the banks of my true love, a lad of 19 years old. I wish I had someone to love me, someone to call me their own, someone to sleep with me nightly. I'm weary of sleeping alone. I wish I had wings of a swallow, flying out over the sea. I'd fly to the arms of my true love and bring him home safely to me. I wish I had someone to love me, someone to call me their own, someone to sleep with me nightly. I'm weary of sleeping alone. I'm weary of sleeping alone.
And there we go. That was one of the songs, and you were listening there to the sound of Maggie McGing. Maggie, how does it sound to you hearing your own voice being played on a radio station?
It's just absolutely fantastic. I mean, who would have thought from not singing to going on a CD and then being on radio? I mean, of course it's fantastic. And I'm still beginning to be convinced I can sing. So,
well, like it's a certain tone of song. I mean, it's a song that is melancholy, you know.
Yes.
And I mean that is all part and parcel of, I suppose, the COVID story. I mean, if we move on, and well done, by the way. If we move on to Nicky now, I believe Nicky's song is something a little bit livelier. Nicky, we're going to give it another go.
Yeah, we used to have a miseryometer. And of course, you know, all of some of the old folk songs and stuff can be quite sad.
Yeah.
And then I'd come on with a Peggy Lee or something like that.
Well, I mean, you did say it's a very eclectic mix, should I say? And I want to just show that. So this is the one we tried to play a little bit earlier, "The Glory of Love," Nicky Dowd, and here we go, girls.
You gotta give a little, take a little, even though your heart may break a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. You gotta laugh a little, cry a little, let those clouds go by a little. Baby, that's the glory of love. When there's just the two of us, we got the world and all its charms. But when that world is through with us, we got each other's arms. You gotta win a little, lose a little. Oh, baby, get the blues a little. Baby, that's the glory of love. The glory of love. Oh, baby, that's the glory of love. Love, love, that's the glory of love. That's the glory of love. That's the glory of love.
there you go. I must say, I felt like I should have a gin and tonic listening to that one, Nicky. Again, how does that sound to hear yourself on radio from CD?
I'm quite overwhelmed, actually. It's really lovely. I mean, my banjo player, Kenny Somerville, fab guy, but he was stuck in San Francisco. So when we decided to do this, I laid the track down with David, and then we would send it to Kenny, and Kenny played along with it and then sent it back. So David just did the most incredible job under such difficult circumstances. But this whole CD, it's got singer-songwriters. There's a lot of original material on there. And we've got French speakers and Italian speakers. It really is. When I say eclectic mix, it really is.
And I mean, that's why we're playing a few tracks, to be honest, girls, because it just does go to show. And I love that whole melancholy thermometer or whatever the expression you had. I loved it.
Miseryometer.
Miseryometer, is that what it was? Yeah, lovely. I mean, I'm going to go with one more before we leave it, and that is Pat Staunton, Long Balconies. Tell me a little bit about that one.
It was by Brian Brannigan from A Lazarus Soul. Very evocative song about the flats in Dublin, but any sort of visual of those sort of architectural difficult areas. It could be in Manchester or London or, anywhere in the country, Dublin, any of the council flats but it tells the story of the community who survived there. Yeah. And what the other thing that's really lovely about this, Angela, we've got sheep farmers, engineers, archaeologists, geologists, teachers, artists. That's what we do in our daytime stuff, and then we gather together, and this is what we collaborate.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. We're going to go and see if we can give Pat Staunton Long Balconies an airing as well. So sit back and relax, guys.
First day of April 1963, Mother fell in the lap of luxury. Still tells to the day they handed her the key. Second floor palace, the long balconies. They did a little dealing in the shade. Still of the cops and priests they were afraid. They hung their washing out there on parade when there was good drying. Nothing was spared, what they had they shared. They kept their worries to themselves. They knit the community of the long balcony. Days they were rough, but no one got upset. Our little home's immaculately kept. The accent was flat, and of that we were proud, but only as much as our poverty allowed. Woke up Sunday morning by a jobless anger, after Saturday evening down the black and amber. Two scruffy young fellas belting out both standards. They sang their hearts out. No one was scared. What we had we shared. We kept our troubles to ourselves. We lit the community of the long balcony. Design, I suspect, they let our kingdom fall into neglect. The promises broken the second we had voted. They said that they cared, but they had another motive, so that the high-tech hadn't far to venture. They needed homes beside the city centre. We watched our neighbours slowly disappear. we cried our eyes out. We became scared, what we had they shared. They had it sewn up for themselves. They split the community of the long balconies. But we had a dream, you see, in the long balconies, to never have to leave the long balconies, to leave the long balconies, to leave the long balconies.
Well, I have to say that just is very evocative indeed of the life of communities. And when you know the background to a song, which is just what we've been allowed, I suppose, here as a result of having the participants in studio with us. I mean, the communities within the flats, the likes of the Dublin flats, etc. It's amazing that you can put a story to music. Nicky, we're running short on time, but perhaps now it's time to let people know how they can support this. I mean, where the funds are going to, because I believe it's just not going into your pockets.
No, not at all. We were very lucky to get support from Noel Kavanagh from the Kavanagh Group and Super Value, and we put money in ourselves as a group to fund it all. But now we're selling them. It's a double album, €10. You can collect it from the Cobblers at the White Hotel, the Clue Bay Hotel in Westport, Duffy's Bookshop in Westport. If you go onto the Westport lines at gmail.com, we can organise a transfer, or you can do by credit card. 08619200732, and all the money is going to the Westport Lions Club. And the Westport Lions Club, nobody gets paid for that charity, and all of the money, we split it sort of half and half generally, and it goes to global catastrophes of the moment. This year, of course, is Ukraine, and then to our local community, to people in need. So when you buy that CD, the double CD, 27 tracks, €10, you're supporting your own people and also the people that we all want to help.
A very good cause indeed. And then I'm just going to give the last final word to Maggie. You've heard yourself now on radio. Have you got a bit of confidence from that?
I definitely have, and I can really recommend the CD as the quality and everything, and I just want other people to share the experience because it was an amazing journey, both for me personally and for a lot of the other participants.
Well done, girls. And as we have said, nobody is doing this as their full-time day job. These are all a group of people who've collaborated together through difficult circumstances, and on top of that, it's for a very good cause. The CD is called Unmasked, the Cobblers Lockdown Sessions, and the formal launch is in Molloy's Yard Bar in Westport, 7:30 p.m, Thursday, May the 19th. If you want to hear a bit more, why not turn up?